Good morning, everybody. Matthew from Captive Audience Comics here. I wanted to do a quick video with my thoughts on the Mark Spears Monster blind bag books. So normally I'm against blind bags. I think obviously they tickle the fancy of people who like to gamble. They encourage people to overspend. They create an artificial market value for the contents that obviously typically doesn't last, and I think most people are just going to lose their money. Now, from a selling point of view, from the producer, it's a great idea. You encourage excitement, anticipation, the unknown. It tickles all those human emotions that make people want to take care of those things. But we normally never buy them. Now, the Mark Spears Monster ones, we did buy some, not because we were trying to gamble on high ratio books, but because basically all the covers looked good, and they were going to have such a wide range that the odds of basically getting a bunch of the same book were almost zero. So, and even from them, they said, well, if you bought, 10 books, you shouldn't get any duplicates. So we purchased 10 books. Now, I have waited to see what a lot of other people have got, how their experiences were with these books before doing this video. Now, the 10 books that we got, the ratio of what we got was fine. We got 9, basically, of the 9 of the non-ratio covers, and we got 1 in 20. So basically on spec, we actually did decently well on the sort of the ratio breakdown. Where we had an issue was on the actual books that we got for the open covers, or the non-incentive covers. So out of 10 books, we got 5 copies of the same book. Now, I don't know how statistically, like the statistics on that must be insanely small. And in my opinion, we didn't even get 5 copies of what I would consider one of the higher quality books, but we got the A03s. I mean, it's not a bad cover. It's not, but it's certainly not like what if I was looking for a monster book I'd be looking for. We've been following along in groups and online of people to see how their ratios work, and what it seems to be is that the covers seem to be almost like glommed. Like we had guys that would buy, they might have bought 10 books and they're like, well, I got 4 foils and 3 incentives. It really looks like the packaging breakdown didn't really get an even distribution. That if you ordered a box, that a box was heavy on a certain set of books from like a non-incentive, or a certain number of books from a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 20. Like maybe they took a heavy amount of one section of those books and then ran those things off. Now, our comic shop actually said when they split their Mark Spears blind bags up between their customers, they mixed them around. So the top book would go here, second book would go to this person. So they didn't take them together. So for me to get 5 books the same, with them even doing that, leads me to believe that the mix in that box was probably even worse than it was. So I think the books themselves are good. I think there's an issue with the way the ratios were being split up for how they were being distributed. I don't know how you fix that. I have no idea, but wasn't particularly happy. Probably this kind of just reinforces my belief that blind bags are a waste of money. Because I could have just waited and bought the 5 different books that I ended up with for less money than I spent probably on the 10 blind bags because of the duplication. Now, we will be selling off all the duplicates, $10 Canadian, which seems to sort of be going rate for the non-incentive covers for these. Now, one thing that's interesting about these also is we have all of these at near mint minus. There is a lot of damage. Not a lot of damage on one book, but a lot of damage across the run. So all of these ones that we got duplicates on all had, you won't be able to see it on camera, but they all have spine creases, and like they break a little bit of color, but these are cardstock covers. So once you crease those, you're not getting rid of those creases. So every single one of them had that. Now, what's interesting is our ratioed book doesn't have a crease in the cardstock cover. So it's almost like, I don't know, maybe they rough handled the non-ratioed book. But that's our ratio book. That's our 1 in 20. It's one of the trick covers, the A75 trick cover. That will end up being up for sale as well. We actually aren't... it's kind of a cool cover, but visually, I like some of the non-ratioed covers better than this, but people are looking for a complete collection. So that's our take on the Mark Spears. I mean, no moral judgment here. If you like to gamble, you like that rush, you've got the money to spend, go ahead. But I would recommend if there's a cover that you really want, just buy it aftermarket, because unless it's a super high ratio book, you're going to buy it. You're going to be able to buy it cheaper than what you're going to have to spend trying to get it. All right. So anyways, have a great Sunday, guys. And we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.